Hey Maths Legends, I'm Peppa Pig. Actually, no, I'm not, but I'm here to show you today how to add decimal numbers to hundredths. You're probably wondering why we're doing it. Well, pretty simple. We're going to use it all the time in real life, especially when we're looking at money or different kinds of measurements. Let's have a look and see what's going to help us to be successful when we're adding decimal numbers. Now, the first thing we need to do is set it out correctly, and the one thing I tend to do a lot of the time is make sure I line up my decimals. If I line up my decimals, then all my other place values line up correctly. I always start from right to left, and if my numbers aren't totally even, so I don't have the same amount of place values, I put zeros in to fill the gaps to make sure that they're both the same. If a number is 10 or more, I'm going to regroup, and I'm going to make sure that I put my answer always in the same place value, so I'm going to line them up. And the last one is don't forget your decimal in your answer. So there's two ways of doing it. Either put your decimal in right at the start, or as you're working from right to left, make sure you put your decimal in. Okay, let's have a look at one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write out the first number. So I'm going to write 23.43. Now the second number, I'm going to put the decimal in first. Then I'm going to write in my decimals, 0.9, making sure they line up. And then I'm going to put the 17 on this side, once again making sure they line up. Put my equal sign across the bottom. Now 3 add 9 makes 12. Now that's more than 10. So my 2 goes down the bottom and I put my 1 up the top, just like when we don't have decimals. So then I add them up. I go 4 plus 0 is 4, add 1 more is 5. Now the next thing that I will do is, if you look, I've got the decimal. So I don't forget the decimal and I follow it down to my answer. I then look at my next one. I go 2 and 7 is 9. And 2 and 1 is 3, which makes 39.52. Now this one is a little bit different because we've got 3 numbers. This is where it becomes really important to make sure that we line up our decimals, to make sure our place values all line up, and make sure all of our numbers are even with the same amount of numbers. So we start with our first one, 7.05. I put my decimal in, I do my next one, which is 1.3, and my last one, which is 8.14. Now you can see straight away that I'm missing a number just in there, so I'll put in a 0. Put my equal sign across the bottom. I would normally use a ruler here, boys, but obviously on the computer, I can't do so. I then start right to left. So I start on my right-hand side. I go 5 plus 0 plus 4. Now 5 and 0 is 5. Add 4 more is 9. I then move to my next house. 0 and 3 is 3. Add 1 more is 4. I follow my decimal points down, and I go to my next house. 7 and 1 is 8, 8 and 8 is 16, and if you have a look, I go to my next house, there is no more in that house, and I can bring it straight down to make 16.49. Now, a couple little things that you can look at is if you can make number bonds to 10, that's a really quick and easy way then of adding 3 numbers together, so just remember that when we come to our next examples. Okay, here's 2 for you to try. So stop the video now. Remember to set your sum out correctly using the decimals. Start from right to left. Make sure that you regroup if numbers go over 10. Stop the video now. Okay, let's have a look and see how we went. So we write our first number out, 0.8, put my decimal in, 1.5, put my decimal down, 0.4, put my line across, it's an addition, 8 and 5, is 13, add 4 more is 17. So my 7 goes down the bottom, I put in my decimal, and I bring my 1 extra 1 over here. I have 1, 0, 1, 0, so really it's 1 and 1, make 2. There's my answer. My next one, write my first one, 9.9, put my decimal down, 9.09, put my decimal down, 9.99. There's my add, put in my equal sign. Now you can see here this first number is not the same length, so I put a 0 in. 0 plus 9 is 18. I put my 8 down the bottom, my 1 in the next house. Here's where I can look for my number bonds. Here's 9 and 1 makes 10, and then I add my extra 9 makes 19. Put my 1 to the top. Don't forget to put my decimal in. Find my number bonds again. 9 and 1 is 10. Add 9 is 19. Add 9 is 28. Now you can see there is nothing left in this house, so I can bring it down to the bottom. I have 28.98. Well done, gents. Keep practicing these ones. Remember to line up your decimals. That really helps. Start right to left and regroup when you need to.